Where I go in my district, everyone is so angry at Mike Johnson. And one guy said it to me like this. He goes, do they have Mike Johnson's wife tied up somewhere and have a gun to her head? What is wrong with Mike Johnson? He is a damn fool.
Republicans are imploding, and I must admit, it's a beautiful thing. But for the uninitiated, it might seem confusing. So here's the supporting cast. You got Trump Jr.,
Donald Trump Jr.'s on cocaine,
Speaker Johnson, Dairy Queen, Matt Loves Teen Girls Gaetz, Chip, I'm Always Angry Roy, and a special appearance by K-Mac. All right, let's start with Johnson. Mike Johnson is Speaker of the House in the same way that Chubby Fingers is a world leader. They fell into power and have been a disaster.
Disappointed are you with the Speaker?
Barry.
There's no other way to describe it. It's surrender. It's disappointing. I won't support it.
The current dilemma Johnson faces is he wants a bill that would fund Ukraine and Israel, but House MAGA trolls are tied to Russian money and influence, so, led by Dairy Queen and Matt, I'll babysit your 13-year-old Gaetz, just like they did K-Mac a couple months ago. And now even Cocaine Jr. is attacking Johnson with this video.
We have to effect real policy change at the border, and that is a necessary condition to anything we do going forward.
We have to take care of our border first. That's what the American people demands.
Every state in America is now a border state.
Border, border, border.
How can we be engaged in securing the border of foreign countries if we can't secure our own?
We know the urgency in Ukraine. We're going to stand for freedom and make sure that Vladimir Putin doesn't march through Europe.
Whoa, so does this mean that if Cocaine Jr. wants to replace Johnson, does Captain Man-Titties hate him too?
The worst and most corrupt president in the history of the United States.
So here's a problem for Tiny Fingers. Together, Johnson and Trump killed a Senate border bill that really would have worked. I mean, it was exactly what the Republicans asked for. So now Johnson and Trump are like that couple that had drunk sex and it's the next awkward morning. What do we do? Trump directed Johnson to kill the border bill because it's the only thing Trump knows how to do, stoke racist fears.
But people are coming from the Congo. Last night, we had 20 people come. Welcome to our country from the Congo. Where do you live in the Congo? We live in prison. Oh, that's right. They released them from prison. But they're coming in from Africa.
And if there was a border bill in place, what new racist fear would he drum up? And if Trump screws Johnson, could Altar Boy bring the bill up for a vote?
People are angry.
You following all this?
He probably understands it very well.
Because now Johnson also wants a national abortion ban that after Arizona, Trump and most Republicans desperately want to avoid.
Bringing the issue back to the states.
American women are pissed, and Johnson is joined by that far-right faction in the GOP that wants women to go back to the 50s. That will help them in their pro-Trump, anti-abortion, whites-only districts, but not on a national level. And the Republican Party's stand on abortion resembles a Jackson Pollock painting. It's all over the place, and no one understands it. The evangelical wing is so crazy they want to hire Margaret Atwood for some new ideas, banning all abortions, contraceptions, and IVF. Even prohibiting travel for pregnant women to states who allow abortion. They think life begins at conception, but ends at subsidized daycare. The rest of the GOP wants to ban abortion, but only in non-election years. And here's where it gets weird. Dairy Queen and Gaetz say they want the federal ban on abortion, as does Johnson, but only Johnson wants the funding for Ukraine, which Trump, Dairy Queen, and Gaetz oppose. Chip Roy, no relation, just wants to yell at somebody.
What you see here on the floor of the House of Representatives should make everybody ashamed.
Okay, so what's going to happen? Well, currently, Trump is balancing his campaign to collapse our democracy with his attempt to avoid Rikers Island. But his plan is as transparent as Miley Cyrus's wardrobe. Trump wants everything to go to shat. He wants the economy to fail and to be elected and never leave office.
President for life, that sounds good.
There's an old saying, the two things you should never see being made are sausages and politics. I would include Trump's spray tan and Huckabee Sanders' wardrobe fitting. But what's really happening here is effing important. When douchebags like J.D. Vance say the Russian army is too weak to roll through Ukraine into Poland and beyond.
What do you make of the argument, though, that if the U.S. and NATO and the EU cede part of Ukraine to Putin, or even all of Ukraine to Putin, that really all we're doing is putting out the welcome mat for him to then invade a country that is in the NATO alliance, such as Poland?
So there are two reasons I don't buy this. First of all, Putin has showed he's much weaker than a lot of people feared.
It sounds suspiciously like something Putin would say. We know for sure that Putin has already influenced the 2024 race in Trump's favor. First, by getting Trump to publicly state he would not assist NATO.
One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want.
And secondly, feeding Russian information to Comer and Jordan in their BS impeachment inquiry.
After years of Democrats using this committee as a mouthpiece for every conspiracy theory they could find, like the Russian collusion hoax, Were you aware, was Mr. Giuliani aware that these people were basically just doing the bidding of Vladimir Putin?
Absolutely.
So he had no hesitation about spreading lies that were concocted by Russian agents?
As long as it fit the narrative, absolutely not.
And it was just a year ago when an aide to McConnell and Rand Paul was arrested and convicted for funneling Russian money to the Trump campaign. And now congressional Republicans and Fox News are spouting Russian propaganda.
But I think Russian propaganda has made its way into the United States, unfortunately, and it's infected a good chunk of my party's base. He singled out primetime shows on conservative channels. Do you agree with him? And how big is this problem?
Oh, it is absolutely true. We see directly coming from Russia attempts to mask communications that are anti-Ukraine and pro-Russia messages.
It's obvious that after 2016, the last thing Russia wants is another Joe Biden who calls out Putin as a mass murderer while Trump whispers love sonnets.
And then we fell in love.
And the MAGA GOP, led by Miss Waffle House, continue their work for Putin with their ignorant parade of lies about Ukraine, Hunter, and the president. So here's the deal. There is a border bill crafted by conservative Republicans in the Senate, but Johnson won't allow a vote.
People have wanted to end Roe v. Wade to get it back to the states. We did that. It was an incredible thing, an incredible achievement. We did that, and now the states have it.
There's a law in Arizona that was enacted during the Civil War that attacks women's health and reproductive freedoms. It effectively bans all abortions. And while Republicans say they're against it, it's still there.
Even though Democrats failed to repeal that 1864 law today, they still remain very much committed to trying to do that. But they have a steep hill to climb because they're working with a Republican-controlled legislature that seems dead set from even allowing a vote on that bill from happening.
The last thing we should be doing today is rushing a bill through the legislative process.
Republican House Speaker Ben Toma holding firm again today. For the second time, Toma blocked of effort to repeal the 1864 abortion ban. It's a bill he's not sure will ever get a vote.
I don't know if we're going to eventually vote on that bill.
I don't believe in abortion. I think the older law is going to go into effect. That's what I believe will happen. I don't think abortion pills should be legal.
Republicans are actually trying to pretend like they have no idea where this anti-abortion fervor originated, like your husband trying to explain that porn charge on his visa bill. The Republican Party is imploding and everyone is mad and confused, except Trump. He doesn't care about women, immigrants, minorities, or Republicans. He only cares about one person. Who? Do I have to tell you?
We'll see what happens today. I don't know how much longer our members are going to tolerate the Republican speaker that we elected to pass our agenda in the House. We don't know. I don't know how long people are going to tolerate this because he's doing nothing but serving the Democrats.
The GOP is suffering, and damn, it feels good.
Who's with me?
Hi, what's up?
Time to pack it up.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, right.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
Thank you so much for watching. You know, YouTube frequently penalizes my videos for taking on controversial subjects, hurting our ability to earn ad revenue, which we use to hire more hosts and make more videos. We think it's so important to make these videos now and expose the Republican cult. So please join us on Patreon. The link is in the comments. We literally can't make these without you. Thank you so much. For Really American Media,
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.